Hello students, we are moving to the last part of the breathing and exchange of gases chapter. So in this part we will see the next part, that is regulation of respiration. That means how we can able to breathe and when our rate of breathing can be increased, when the rate of breathing can be decreased, and who is going to regulate it. Okay, so if you see the regulation of breathing, then basically there are two types of regulation we have. One is nervous regulation and another is the chemical regulation. So first of all, see the nervous regulation. Under the nervous regulation we are going to have two centers present in the hindbrain. They are the respiratory rhythm center and pneumotaxic center. From here questions are asked a number of times. Okay, so suppose this is the brain. In the brain we have the last part, that is the hindbrain. In the hindbrain this is the cerebellum part, and here we have two parts. One is the pons varolii and another is the medulla oblongata. You need not to know it now, we will discuss it later whenever we will move to neural control and coordination. So see, first of all, in the medulla oblongata we are going to have one center that is called as the respiratory rhythm center. So here this is called as the respiratory rhythm center, which is going to maintain our normal rate of breathing, and whenever we are suppose we are exercising, then the rate of breathing can be faster, and whenever we are suppose sleeping or we do not need that much amount of oxygen, then the rate of breathing will be normalized and it will decrease down. So who is going to maintain that? That is the respiratory rhythm center, where it is present in the medulla oblongata region. It basically will maintain the rhythm, how many times normal individual beats, that is around 14 times per minute. Who is going to regulate it? This is the respiratory rhythm center. Whenever we are exercising, then rate of respiration will be increased. It will be either 16 to 7 to even 10, 20 times. So who is going to maintain that? That is respiratory rhythm center. Now after that, let's just move to the next part, that is the pneumotaxic center. Where the pneumotaxic center is present, that is present in the pons. So here we are going to have the pneumotaxic center, PNC. Just pneumotaxic center, it is actually present in the pons region, which can alter the rate of inspiration, and that's why it will change the rate of respiration also. That means it can reduce the duration of inspiration. It can reduce. Normally whenever we respirate, when we will breathe, then we will take some time for inspiration, we will take some time for expiration. This is the normal one breathing, and for suppose one inspiration and expiration will take around 5 seconds, and 2 seconds will take whenever the gases will be inserted, that is inspiration, and whenever we release the gas it will take around 3 seconds. So first of all, what it is going to do, pneumotaxic center, it will decrease the inspiration rate. That means it will decrease it to suppose faster inspiration, that means it will take even 1 second or 1.5 second. So this way, whenever we suppose get this gas oxygen in your inspiration in a shorter period of time, then what will happen, the whole rate of respiration that will alter, that will change, right? So what is that? This is the pneumotaxic center. What we are going to see, that here we are going to have two regulations. One is nervous regulation and another is the chemical regulation. Yes, nervous regulation means the brain part, that is the hindbrain, which have the pons varolii and medulla oblongata, that controls the normal breathing. But sometime in our body, in our blood vascular system, we have some chemicals. That chemicals will start to increase, and that indicates the change, or that needed to change the rate of breathing. There are two chemicals, that means the gases present. They are carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion. So if we have high level of hydrogen ion and high level of carbon dioxide in the blood, that means what we have to do, we have to remove the carbon dioxide, isn't it? And high level of carbon dioxide can lead to an effect called as Bohr's effect. That's why we have high level of hydrogen ion. That means the carbon dioxide start to deposit in our blood or in our tissues in a higher amount that needed to be expirated out. So who will understand the presence of this carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion. There are some centers, some type of small centers present in the blood vascular system. Two bodies we have. What are they? One is aortic body and another is the carotid body. What is aorta, what is carotid artery, everything we will see in the next chapter, in the body fluid and circulation chapter. Now we need to know, you just need to remember that aortic artery, that is the systemic aorta, and carotid artery, inside that they are going to have to send some small sensitive areas which can be sensitive to carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion. So whenever carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion is started to increase in our blood, then what will happen? This carotid body and our aortic body gives the sense to the brain, and in the brain the respiratory rhythm center will alter the rate of breathing. That means it will decrease the deepness of the breathing and it will increase the rate of breathing, and we will able to repel the carbon dioxide as much as possible. So this way we are going to have the chemical regulation. So remember one thing, that this carotid body and aortic body, both of them, they are sensitive to carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion. So what are they? They are the two centers. They are present in the aortic artery and carotid body. They are under the chemical regulation, and both the chemical regulation and nervous regulation will able to regulate the respiration process. So after that we will see some of the disorders related to the breathing, related to the respiratory system. Let's just move to that part. After that, let us move to the next part, the last part, that is the disorders of the respiratory system. A number of diseases an individual can suffer of the respiratory tract or the alveoli or the whole mechanism. So first of all, see, the first disease is asthma. What is this asthma? See. First of all of the individuals, we in our lifetime we have suffered from some type of allergy. So whenever allergy occurs in our skin, in the skin what we see that the part, they just get swell, become red, and after some time the swelling get reduced. So what is this asthma? Same thing that is happening inside our respiratory tract. Whenever any type of foreign particles, they are called as the allergens, any type of allergens, it may be dust also, it may be the pollen grain of pollen grain of the different flowering plants that present in the air, enters inside our respiratory tract. If it is allergen or if that individual is sensitive to that, then this enters inside the respiratory tract and it causes irritation. And due to the irritation, what happens inside the respiratory tract? Swelling occurs. And if swelling occurs, what will happen? The passage for the transport, that means entry of the air, that will start to reduce. And due to the reduction of the passage of the air, the individual will not able to properly breathe, and in extreme cases maybe that individual will completely block the respiratory passage. So what is that? This is called as asthma. So what is this asthma? This is actually why happens foreign particles affect the respiratory tract. One disease we have here, that is the hay fever. Okay, so what is happening during suppose the cutting of the haze, that small very fine particles enters inside the respiratory tract, and that individual will continuously sneeze, continuously he will not able to breathe properly, continuously from the eye tear comes out, the eye become red. So this is called as hay fever. Okay, this is nothing but due to the insertion of the haze and straws, very microparticles inside the respiratory tract that can cause hay fever. Now after that, the next disease is emphysema. Now what is this emphysema? Emphysema means full of air. That means that individual, even if he breathe, he will not able to exchange the gas with the blood vessel. Why? Because the alveoli, the lining of the alveoli, they get damaged due to the excessive cigarette smoking. So excessive cigarette smoking can cause the destruction, damaging of the alveoli valve, and that will block or it will prevent the exchange exchange of gases, and this individual in extreme cases can lead to death. Okay, so what is that? This is emphysema. What is this? It means full of air, causes due to excessive cigarette smoking, and one of the alveoli get damaged. So that's why even if that individual breathe, he will not able to exchange the gas, right? So this gives the sensation of full of air inside the lung. Then also he will not able to exchange the gas with the blood, and the tissues will not get a proper oxygen, right? So this is nothing but emphysema. Next one, the next disease is the occupational respiratory disorder. So what is this occupational respiratory disorder? This came in the last 2 years earlier NEET examination. That what happened whenever the people they are working in some industries like the cement industries, then silicon industries or asbestos industries, in those what happened, very small fine particles they start to present in the air suppose in that region. Okay, wherever that industry is located, continuously in the air those silicon or cement or like asbestos, this type of things they are present. And what happens if the people that are working there, the workers, they continuously take those things in the respiratory tract, they can make a layer, and also this can lead to the same thing. That means that individual will not able to exchange the gas with the blood vessel, and it can lead to the earlier death of the workers who are working in the cement factories or the silicosis that are working in the silicon factories, all those areas. Okay, so what is that? This is the occupational respiratory disorder. Now after that we have the next disease. What is that? That is epilepticism. What is epilepticism? This is called as the collapsing of the alveoli. Sometimes what happens, if some of the alveoli they are not functional, then the blood vessels that are coming to that region, that will get diverted to the maximum regions who can properly exchange the gas. And this way, in extreme cases, if the alveoli they are not functional, they are not working, then the alveoli can get damaged, and this can lead to collapsing. Okay, so what is that? That is epilepticus. Another condition I can give you here is the altitude sickness. What is happening whenever the people from the plane they start to move towards the higher altitude? What will happen? We will feel the feeling of nausea, will feel vomiting. Okay, this type of symptom will start to appear. Then after that we'll start to acclimatize with the situation. Acclimatize means in the sense that whenever our body starts to get less oxygen, our body will start to maintain with that small amount of oxygen. And what will happen after that? The RBC, okay, RBC starts to divide, and the RBC number will start to increase. Okay, so what is this? This is called as altitude or altitude sickness. Okay, so yeah, these are different type of diseases. Number of other diseases also you can see in different books. You can add all of it and try to remember, but generally these are the common diseases that can come even in the boards examination as well as for the NEET examination. So yeah, that all of are the different diseases, right? So yeah, that is all about the chapter. I hope you understand. In the next video we will start the next chapter, that is body fluid and circulation. I hope you understand and enjoyed the chapter breathing and exchange of gases. In the next video we will start the next chapter. Thank you.